Hello everyone. So today is my December TBR. I am super excited. I have a massive TBR. I took off the week of Thanksgiving to kind of just regroup, and I had a lot of family in town. The whole side of my mother's family was in town, like her brother and sister, so I got to see my little cousins, which was really fun. And this TBR is just gonna be kind of crazy because I'm gonna mood read a lot of it, but I also just don't know what I want to read yet. So for December, like, I tried to pick books that I knew I would love, and there might be some surprises where I read some like one-offs. I don't know. It just all depends on what I'm feeling in December. So I have two different stacks. I have historicals and then some like contemporary ones. So the first one is Never Entice an Earl by Lily Dalton. This one is a historical romance, of course, and she is masquerading as her maid, Kate, and she meets this guy at a ball, and he thinks that she is Kate, but she's actually, I think, she's a lady. So she is like the season's most sought out debutante, and so when he learns that the irresistible woman he knows is Kate, okay, so he plans to use her connections to help him set a trap. And now the closer Cormac gets to uncovering the villain who haunts the town's ballrooms, the more he realizes that the lovely lady is in danger herself. So it's kind of, I think, an action-packed story. I read the first one in this series, and I absolutely adored it. I read it last year around this time, and it was just so good. So I really want to get to this one. And then I have a couple from last month's TBR that I didn't get to, but ones I really want to get to by the end of the year. So that's Ransom by Julie Garwood. This one's just so long, and I'm like intimidated to read it, but I do love Julie Garwood. And I think, I don't really know what happens in this book. I just know that it is about a Highlander, and probably a British girl. I think that's really all I want to know going into this one. I'm not really sure, but I'm really excited to read this. And then I grabbed The Hunter by Kerrigan Byrne. This one, I think that the hero is like after the heroine, like he's an assassin. And he is kind of like after the heroine maybe, and she's like afraid of him, but she can't resist him. And he has to target, his target is her, so they end up like falling for each other maybe. I'm really excited to read this. Hopefully I can get to some of these on audio. When I took off my week for like Thanksgiving, because I was also cooking the meal, I love to cook, and so I cooked the whole Thanksgiving dinner meal. I made a menu for it, all this stuff. I really enjoy that stuff. I really love organizing events and stuff like that. It's just really fun. But of course I had help. Like, I couldn't do it all by myself. And we had 14 people at Thanksgiving, so it was just so much fun. So I just took a break from everything. Didn't even listen to audiobooks because I was just like, wanted to really focus on my family, and it was such a fun time. And then the next one is On the Way to the Wedding by Julia Quinn. I just really want to finish the Bridgerton series. I absolutely adore the Bridgerton series. This is the last one I have to read to finish the series, and I just want to read it and say that I've completed the Bridgerton series because I have a couple of videos in mind that I want to do Bridgerton related. So I'm really hoping to finish this month. And it is Gregory's story. And then I have Ravish by Amanda Quick. I've talked about this on my last TBR, where I think the heroine, she's like into caves, or I can't really remember. She's like into caves, and she has to like work with somebody to see like hidden treasure or something like that. But I've heard great things, and I really want to read some older historicals. And they have The Duke and Lady of Red. I really want to read this book. I've been waiting like a year to read this because I'm kind of nervous to read it. It's supposedly very emotional and just like kind of heartbreaking. But our heroine actually steals money from the hero and is about to like run off to Scotland. And he's like, wait, I'll give you the money if you spend 1 week with me. And so it's like a 1 week kind of thing together. So I'm really excited for that. And then I also got Yours Until Dawn by Teresa Medeiros. Jess from Piece of Books read this for the historical romance readathon, I think, or maybe it was her book club. I can't remember which one it was, but this one, it sounds amazing. It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I think he is blind, maybe, and she is his new nurse, and she's like taking care of him, and he's very grumpy, and I think she's kind of like sunshiny. So I'm really excited to read this. I love this cover. It is so pretty. Here's a step back. I don't know if I didn't show this, but I just love it. It's so pretty. So I really want to get to those historicals really, really badly. I just want to read all of the historicals. I'm in such a historical mood right now. So I'm super excited to read those. And then the next book I have is Reckless Refuge by Catherine Cowles. This is the 4th book in this series. And I read the I read the 3rd book this past month and absolutely adored it. It was so amazing. This is people's favorite in this series, and I just like, I need to read this. So I think our heroine, she is kind of on her own. She's a loner, and she is staying on this island, and her brother, I think, was like a serial killer, and I think he killed their whole family, maybe, if I can remember correctly. And then the hero's coming into town because he's an artist, and somebody had been using his art to kind of, like, as inspiration to kill people. So he needs, like, to get away from that stuff, and so he goes to the small island where she is. I think they have to, like, stay together, or something, and then, like, somebody comes back into the picture that's, like, there to, like, hurt both of them. Something like that. I can't quite remember, but I love Catherine Cowles, and I would be so happy if I could finish the series this month, but I'm not sure. And then I have 5 Rounds by Nikki Castle. This is an MMA fighter romance. They have to be roommates. It's Hate to Love. I've been reading this off for a while. I think I'm just intimidated by the size. I don't know. It's actually not that long. It's about 400 pages, so I just need to bite the bullet and read it. I know I'm going to love it. I just get weird about books that I know people love and, like, are really hyped up. It just makes me not want to read them, even though I know I'm going to love them, so I don't know. But the next one is The Words by A. Jade, which is Ashley Jade. This is a rock star second chance hate to love romance. Heard nothing but amazing things, so I really want to read this before the end of the year to see if it's going to be like one of my top 10 favorites. So I'm very excited to read this. It's very chunky, but I'm enticed. And then I wanted to also mention some books I might want to do a reread of. I've been just like feeling this urge to reread the Devil's Night series. I still need to finish the 4th book, which is Will's story. But I've heard not great things, so I'm just like so nervous to read it. And I also want to read Anastasia by Sophie Lark, that is coming out this month in December. So I'm so excited to read that. I cannot wait. It is one of my most anticipated reads for the end of the year. So I can't wait to read that. And then I have Funny Feelings by Tara DeWitt. This is a single dad, friends to lovers romance. And I think they both work in like television maybe. And they have to like fake date, I think. And he's very like grumpy and she's sunshine. People have been loving this book, so I'm really excited to read it. The next one is The Gravity of Us by Brittany C. Cherry. This one I think I'm going to love. Super emotional. I really don't know what else. I think maybe this is the one where he is like something bad happened to the heroine and he's always been there for her, and then he like left to go pursue his dreams of being like a rock star person, and then he comes back to town and they like want to get together, or like he wants to see where it's going kind of thing. I'm not really sure. I can't remember what people said about this. But I just know I really want to read some Brittany C. Cherry. I read one book by her and didn't love it, but I think that was just a weird off one, and I really want to get into the series. And then I have Parallel by Elle O'Rourke. This is Elizabeth O'Rourke. I read Waking Olivia and really, really enjoyed it. One of my favorite reads of this year. Is so good. This one, I think, it's like a weird romance. They can't be together. She had been like dreaming of him for years, like in her dreams, like Nick, seeing this guy, and then she sees him in real life like years later when she, I think, is engaged. So I'm really intrigued to read this. I've heard really, really amazing things, so I can't wait to start this. And then there's also another book that I forgot to mention with the Sophie Lark book that's coming out. It is the new book by Calia Reed. I think it's going to come out hopefully this month. She said on her Instagram she hopes it's going to come out this month, but she hasn't written or released a book in like a year and a half. And I'm just like dying for this book because it's the end of this couple's story. And I just can't wait. I really, really enjoy Calia Reed, and so I'm so excited to read it. And then I have 4 more books. This is a very ambitious TBR, but it's not like it's more for me for like, I have options. I have options of books that I could read. So the next one is Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. This is the second book in the Magnolia Parks universe series. I really just want to skip this book and read about Magnolia and her and BJ, but I'm just like, I need to continue on with the series, and this is like the next one, so I'm like, okay, I should just read this one. But I have no idea what this is about. I think it's just like continue on. I think her and like Christopher had a thing going, so I don't know if that's going to be what this book is about. And then I have Savage Heart by J.C. Geisinger. This is a mafia romance. I don't know what it's about. Oh, I think she gets like kidnapped by him. I just really want to continue on with this series. I loved the second book. So good. So I'm really excited to continue on. And then I have The Confidence of Wildflowers by Macaulay Smelter. This is a super emotional single dad romance. And very angsty of her. So I'm really excited to read this. I know it came out a while ago. Well, not that long ago. But like this past year. But I've been pushing it off because I'm like kind of scared to read it. But I really enjoyed the one book that I read by Macaulay Smelter, so I'm excited to read this. And then the last book I have is Pippa and the Prince of Secrets by Grace Calloway. This is another historical romance, and this is her series where they're like spies, and she just lost her husband, and she's now a spy, and I think it's like a second chance romance. But I can't remember. But I am so excited to read this. I loved the first book, and so I'm really excited to dive into this one. Alright, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm so excited for December. I already have my tree up. I don't know if I'm going to read any Christmas-y books. I might read some like Krampus books. And a couple books that I know some friends of mine really enjoyed. But I don't know. I don't really like, I've never been a person who reads holiday romances. So I might just have to give it a shot and see what I think. But thank you so much for watching this video. And down below, let me know what you are going to read this month. I'm super excited to know. But thank you so much, and I'll see you guys soon.